Hi guys, what's going on in this episode of trading? We're going to talk about the three things that really matter when you trade, guys. There's a whole lot of shit that's going on in the world right now. As a trader, you have to put a lot of these things aside. You have to pay attention to the charts. You have to pay attention to the three things that really matter when you're trading. And that's simple. Entry, strike, exit. Entry, strike, exit. You've got to do it with the beat of the market. And sometimes you're going to be too damn close. We're trading weekly options here on this channel. This is not for everybody. And I'm telling you guys that the size of your account, unfortunately, does matter. I've had some guys starting with, 10, 20K, finishing the week at about 100, 120K. I also had some guys that started with 1,000, 2,000 bucks that, totally blew up their accounts. I mean, that's the reality of things. So if you mistime your entry with weekly options, literally, sometimes it could be millimeters. I'm talking about a few hours of the trading week. You can get into a trade where all the stars look like they'll line up and you can still lose. Okay? And I'm talking to you because, guys, I could be posting a bunch of videos here how other guys made money. I want to talk to the rest of you that didn't make money, and I want to explain to you what it really takes to make the money. So I'm going to bring up a couple of examples, and as at some point over the weekend, I am planning on putting up some charts together, showing you the historic analog, showing how we actually nailed the last 3 red days in the market. I've sent it to the alert group. I've posted saying, guys, based on the sequence of the historic analog, we're destined for about 4 or 5 days lower. So officially, we're like 100 points off the top that we've called here at 13 market moves. And so it's not easy to do so. It's not easy to call tops. It's not easy to actually, enter at the fucking top. You can get your entry really close. And so you absolutely have to nail your entry if you're working with a small account. So your entry matters, and that's what's really going to determine how great of a return you can have on weekly options. So you could have 5x return, 10x, 20x. Listen, guys, shorting GME this morning was a 30x trade. Can any one of you listening to this thing right now say that you've put $1,000 that turned into 30K by the end of the fucking day? I bet you didn't. I bet you didn't take that trade. And if you did, you didn't sit through the entire trade. Now, the truth be told, I've actually been getting guys in GME puts ahead of the pump. And so when the stock went up this morning, okay, clearly, I mean, you go to sleep, you wake up, the shit is up $30, $40 against you, and you bought puts yesterday, you're like, oh, God, fuck, I got to get out. Well, guys, you can't. Listen, and when I said the account size does matter, so if you have a good size account, you're like, hold on. This makes sense. Fucking GME, okay? You have a pile of shit that was worth $160 yesterday. This morning, this pile of shit is worth $195 because they decided to do a stock split and issue extra shares, which actually makes that pile of shit worth even less. And all of a sudden, fucking retail investors coming up buying the hell out of this thing. Guys, this is a perfect short. So we did short, but the question is, if you shorted the day before, clearly your outcome wouldn't be as great. You would still make money if you had the right strike. So your entry matters. Okay, but what also matters is your strike. So, and the size of the account that you trade with does matter, because if you added this morning, again, maybe yesterday, if you got into GME puts, this morning you were probably having a heart attack, but by the end of the day, guys, they made money, even if you got into the trade yesterday. But the question is, if you had the right size of the account, you could add it to the GME puts this morning. This was a 30x trade in certain strikes. It was easily a 20x in most strikes, and if you wanted to go super conservative, okay? If you're from England and some shit, you want to go extra conservative, okay? You want to drink a cup of tea while you're watching the fucking market, okay? Then you would have still done 5x, damn it! Entry, strike, exit. That's the shit that matters. But if you're asleep, waking up, fucking 10 minutes after the market opened. Good luck with that shit. That doesn't work. Guys, you got to be on point 100%. Okay, so you may miscalculate the entry, but if the trade overall makes sense, you're not going to lose money. I'll give you a story. This guy just, comes in. I give him 170 strike puts on GME yesterday. And he takes the trade. This morning, he closes out the trade. When the stock is like at 195, I'm like, what the fuck did you do? Because if he just stayed with the trade, the stock hits 155 half an hour before the close. I mean, he would have made, it wouldn't have been a huge return, but he would have made 60%. I mean, nothing to brag about on this channel, but shit. I mean, if his account was any bigger and he added to the trade, this would have been, a few K taken to, 30K type situation. So, and your exit matters. Sometimes the stocks, when you're holding puts, they dip, and you absolutely cannot afford to miss the opportunity to sell some. So some guys, they will be sitting there waiting for the ultimate perfect outcome. Like, we have a certain target set when we're trading, and you can sit and wait, but you're locked in this type of situation. Let's say if you're holding one contract, well, you can't get the fuck out, because if you get out at a certain point with one contract, you're basically selling your whole position. You're liquidating your whole trade. So when you're working with a bigger size account, guys, it really does make a difference, because if you're carrying 100 puts, you can sell 20, you can sell 50. You can collect some gains along the way at 300-400%. And when the trade starts rocketing, you can just scale out 10 at a time, 10 at a time, 10 at a time. And overall, when you sum up the experience, you're at 12x, 13x overall on the trade. Now, when you're holding one contract, it's impossible to do it. So I've been bombarded with a lot of questions with guys with small accounts. And I will tell you one thing. Okay, if you can't afford to lose $1,000 in the market, you shouldn't be in the fucking market. Okay, I'm not trying to discourage anybody. I'm just saying, if you don't have the fucking balls, okay, to come in and say, listen, this is a risky endeavor, trading weekly options. Okay, look, there's a whole lot of things you can do out there. You can pursue other businesses. You can invest $1,000 into anything. But what puzzles me is this. Okay, so just to start an average business, Jesus, if you started like at Domino's or something, fuck, you're going to need the place, you're going to need the franchise, you're going to need the fees, you're going to need the equipment, you're looking at $300,000-400,000 to start any rinky-dinky shit that's going to produce maybe 5-10% a year. What makes you think you can come into trading options with like $1,000 and just, start with 1,000? Not study anything and take your account to the moon. I do this day in and day out, and I am wrong a lot of fucking times. But when the times that I'm right, I trade like a rock star. I have these huge gains that 99.9% of people have never experienced out there trading. So I'm telling you, okay, you have to have a certain mindset. If you're going to come trade weekly options, don't whine and bitch. Oh my God, it's 1,200. I fucking lost it today. Motherfucker, you should have fucking been prepared for it, okay? Like, I'm serious. You cannot come in with this sort of attitude, I'm going to come in with 1,200. Look, what can you do with 1,200? Okay, you can't even buy an Amazon put or call with $1,200, because most of that shit goes for $20-30. So you're looking to spend $2,000-3,000 just on one. And you know better than that. If you're trading, you shouldn't put your whole account in just one trade. At the same time, you can't, if you're trading with $1,000-3,000, you shouldn't be putting your account in more than 2 trades. I had a guy I was trading with yesterday. I didn't realize this guy had literally like 19 trades open, and he had like a $2,600 account split between like 19 trades, which basically he's put like $150, $120 in each trade. And I'm like, dude, this looks like a fucking Christmas tree. What are you doing? Because think about it, you're gonna have 19 trades going in you got a $2,600 account. What the fuck are you doing? You can't afford to do this. Number one, okay, how are you going to manage 19 trades? Number two, okay, you're going to get a lot of shit wrong, especially if you're entering a lot of these trades at the same time. Okay, number three, you will never, ever see your account move from 2,600 to like 5 grand or 10 grand. That shit is not going to happen. Straight up, it's not going to fucking happen. So those of you that are trying to manage a $2,000 account like a fucking hedge fund that's got, $2-3 billion, okay, good luck. It's not going to work. They can afford to split their positions into 50 different stocks and so on. You're trading $2,000-3,000 account. You can't afford that shit if you want your account to grow. Now, some of you will say, but this high risk shit, everything is high risk when you're trading. Okay, so I will tell you for sure what's going to happen if you're trying to put together, just a small amount of money into a ton of trades. One thing is a fact. You will never make any real money in the market. You will not blow your account. You will not blow it, but you will never make any real fucking money trying to diversify a $2,000-3,000. All right, guys. So one thing that hopefully you learned so far is do not put a $2,000-3,000 account into a ton of trades, because it is a sure thing that guarantees you will not make the money. Okay, another thing you cannot do with a small account is you cannot go and buy July puts or July calls or whatever, okay? But because by the time the market goes up and down, and please understand, the market never goes straight down and never goes straight up, okay? It could do that for a number of days, as we've witnessed over the last 2 weeks, okay? But guess what? The last 3 days were down days. So you're not going to basically going out of trying to be safe, okay? It doesn't make you fucking money. Okay, and you're going to say, well, but I don't want to lose my account, Leonardo. I don't want to blow. Well, fuck it. You are. With this sort of attitude, I guarantee you, okay, you may not blow your account. Let's say you have a $2,000 account. You may not blow it. You're not going to make any fucking money. I promise you. You're going to jerk yourself around. You're going to put some trades. They're going to make you $30, $100, fucking $500 if you're lucky. And some trades are just going to stall and just going to eat at you. And guys, I call this slow death. So the point is, if you're a boxer, you can go, 12 rounds. Used to be 15, right? But, I mean, you go 12 rounds, you get yourself beat to death, and you could still lose, okay? Get the shit over with. I mean, if you're going to lose, fucking lose in the first, second round. Don't get yourself a brain damage over this shit, okay? So what I'm saying is, okay, don't try to protect your $2,000-3,000 account for 6 to 12 months, because okay, you may be up $50 one day, down $100 the other day, and overall your account is moving nowhere. So let me ask you this: how much time did you spend going nowhere? A whole fucking 6 months, a year? Why did you even do it? And some people will say, well, to get educated. Get educated in what? Okay, you spent a whole fucking year. You don't know what it's like to win. You don't know what it's like to lose. What does that make you? A fucking turtle. Okay? Get off your ass. Take some risk. You're going to go into the stock market, take some fucking risk, and be ready to lose. Okay? Now, if you got that mentality, listen, yes, I got the 10 grand. I can fucking lose it all. But guess what the advantage is you can also win. You can also win if you trade 13 market moves. You can also turn that 10K into fucking 100 grand. Okay? Which the guy that's a turtle, that's using the turtle strategy, he's going to fucking, he's going to just wear himself out over the course of the next 6 months, 12 months. Ultimately, he's going to turn to 13 market moves. But it's the mentality that counts, guys. You study the courses that we got, it's going to help you. And it should help you get out of your turtle mentality. That's a fact. I mean, it should raise your standards. That's a fact. It should help you understand when it's time to strike, when it's time not to strike. And actually, entry, strike, exit doesn't mean, your entry is when you think it's the time to strike based off of your calculation. The strike is the most important thing. Okay, you can have a great trade and a shitty strike, and you can lose money. Okay, it's going to happen. You got a perfect read on the market, but if you get the wrong strike, you could lose. You can have everything figured out, but if you get the wrong strike, at times you will lose. The market is unmerciful. It's here to take you down. It's here to take you down in the first round. It's here to take you down in the second round. Certainly, okay, it's there to take you down in round 12, and, if you still stand it. So, you've got to be ready for it. You cannot go in the expectation, think, okay, I'm taking on the fucking world, and I cannot get knocked out in the first round with $1,000 trading account. You will get knocked out. The question is, okay, will you get back up? Okay, will you take the next trade? Will you study? Will you be more prepared? Will you jump the rope? Will you run some fucking circles around the fucking building to the 13th floor 28 fucking motherfucking times in a row? Will you get prepared? Okay, that's what's going to determine if you're going to be able to take action, because I'm telling you, 2 minutes in the world of weekly options can make a difference, $30,000, $40,000, okay? As it did today for many traders that were holding 160 strike puts on GME. 160 strike puts on GME went from 20 cents to $5 within the last 2 hours of trading, and they went to zero in the last 30 minutes. Now, that's not the statistics you want to hear, especially if you're that guy that's Mr. fucking Save guy, okay? But I'm telling you, these are the biggest opportunities in the market, okay? That's better than trading NFTs. That's better than trading any fucking cryptocurrency out there. I'm talking about returns that you can't possibly ever fucking realize are possible unless you are actually doing it yourself. So, this message is for those that got the balls, that want to do this, okay? My suggestion is you focus on 3 fucking things. Entry, strike, exit. Entry, strike, exit. If you don't know when to enter, then understand, you could be the best in the fucking world, you can still get your entry wrong. Okay, the question is, what kind of strike did you get? If you got your strike right, but your entry wrong, you can still make money. Now, you're not going to make a 10x or 20x trade, but you can still make money. You're certainly not going to lose money. Okay, and your exit determines exactly of how you're scaling out of the trade, and that's going to determine how much you actually get to keep. With a small account, if you're only holding one option, like a high volatility stock, like a Tesla or, Amazon or something like that, guys, I mean, you don't leave yourself a lot of options. You got to trade these contracts in multiples. So you actually can give yourself an opportunity to scale out. If you're trading 4 contracts, 6 contracts, 10 contracts, I mean, you're giving yourself a chance to actually collect some gains on the way as the move is progressing in the desired outcome that you have calculated. So if you're not sure why you're entering, if your entry is basically based on like, oh my God, they're saying fucking oil is going higher, or oh my God, they're saying, oh wow, there's peace talks, that fucking market's going to go high. Like, this is not a reason to enter, exit. This is not, like, guys, these are bullshit. You cannot be listening to the news and say, oh, well, it sounds like this analyst are talking about this bullshit, so it sounds really good, I'm going to do that. Like, you can't. You cannot beat the market if you listen to the fucking news. I don't know how to reach out to you, and get this, under your skull so you can understand. So you can understand it deep in your heart. You cannot listen to the news and beat the fucking market. And here's a message for those of you that listening to the Greeks. Listening. Fuck, those of you that like, well, I'm going to study the Greeks, I'm going to beat the market. Please, fucking don't joke around like that. It's a bunch of bullshit, okay? If Greeks were everything you needed to know to beat the market, okay, you wouldn't be listening to this right now, because I'm telling you the real truth. The Greeks are just a reflection of what the market anticipation is. Now, the general market consensus will never make you any fucking real money. Okay, so if you're going with the Greeks, good luck. No wonder you ain't making any fucking money. Oh yeah, let me learn the delta and all the guys, it's bullshit. Okay? It's just like looking at the chart and not paying attention to any divergence. Oh, it looks really bullish. Yeah, motherfucker, so if you're going to buy these calls in the money, you think you're going to make money? Hell no. Hell no. Just because the market is bullish and everything you hear in the news is bullish and every analyst is fucking bullish, that's exactly the reason to consider actually going bearish. The market consensus does not make you any real money as a trader. Put it on your fridge, fucking write it down, wherever you gotta write it down. I promise you, you follow market consensus, you will never make a dime in the market. So for those of you that actually want to learn how to trade, what does it take? Okay, I'm not saying just because the consensus is this, you always go against the consensus. No! You've got to understand the move. You've got to understand the sequence. You've got to understand the strike, the entry, the exit. ESE. Entry, strike, exit. And a lot of times, the reason why you're losing because you're following the market consensus at the worst possible time, just when things are about to turn around against you. You're buying calls when you should be buying puts, and the other way around. And that's why you keep losing money. And even if you're safe and conservative, you keep losing a little bit at a fucking time. Well, I invite you to change your strategy. I invite you to call 13 market moves today. Don't live another day like a fucking turtle. Okay, dare to be a lion. Trade fearlessly. Call 13 market moves and take your account to the next level. Let's roll. Now, don't miss out the next video where I'm actually going to break down the charts. I was a little talk to some of you that were wondering, why am I not making money? Why am I this? Why am I... Fuck. Stop it. Learn to trade. Schedule a call with 13 market moves today. Let's go.
Oh, I'm such a shit!